Yo, what's up guys? Today I'm gonna make a video about runes, and the reason why I do this is, well, basically I was watching Sigurframia Gamer and he had a topic on runes of is the blade, focus and endure set actually good or are they terrible? And the reason why he got to that is I'll make it really short. If you want to watch him, he will explain it in depth and why he thinks that. The reason why he said that is because the blade gives crit. Wait, I'll do it like this. The blade gives crit, the endure gives resistance, and the focus gives accuracy. All these skills are maxed out at 100%, and then it just stops. So um, I wanted to add something to that topic. I wanted to add like what runes are good for PvP. Um, and before I go to that, is first why he made that topic. Is his point was late on in the game you might have units that have a certain rune setup that if you ask some people what should we rune them with, for example, I'll show it to you guys. Darien, I'm running in with Violent, and my suggestion is here Violent Focus. I don't have the focus on here, reason being that I just got two 6-star runes here. But why do you want focus on it? Because its accuracy needs to be a decent amount. But as you guys can see, I got 52% accuracy, and I'm not running a focus set. So that is what he was talking about, getting up your accuracy percent, for example, or any sub in your subset of runes. So if you got runes that have a high amount of accuracy in there, that will help you get some of the stats you need, and then you don't even need the focus or blade or endure runes. So that's why he was talking about that. I mean, the runes are really good, but at some point you might even have enough substats so you don't have to go for that set. Now what I want to add is what runes are now actually good for PvP. And I will talk about the runes and why. Well, the most famous rune we have to talk about is Violent Runes. Violent Runes is 20% chance to get an extra turn. Why is this so good? I mean, it's only 20%, right? Yeah, it is, but it makes it unpredictable. Your units become unpredictable for the enemy, so it's hard for them to actually know what to do against it. I mean, they could go against you with the best setup they have, but then your Violent Rune proc a lot maybe, and you win the match because of just having so many more attacks in that he couldn't do what he needed to do. That's why Violent is super strong in PvP, definitely on defense, because on defense it's hard to win any kind of games, and the best way to do this is just put a team in there with high Violent runes, like high units that are really I say high Violent runes, but that it makes no team. I mean a lot of units with Violent runes. I'll show you my defense real quick. Oh. As you can see, maybe I got a defense success here, and I'm at an okay rating, I guess. So, and that guy is on the same rating as me. And the reason why he lost is because my Jameer, my Darien, and my Eamon are all on Violent runes. So possibly what could have happened, he attacked me, did some decent damage, and then maybe Eamon procced a few Violent, and then he just healed up the entire team. That could have happened there. Or maybe Darien just got a lot of hits in and took down an enemy he wasn't ready to lose yet. So those kind of things will help you on defense. Plus, for somebody to attack you and seeing you have those units and they're known for being on Violent runes, if they see that and they see you getting some procs, it might fuck up their game, and you might even come back. Like if my Jameer procs a lot of Violent and can do a reset again, I might be able to get revive like 2 units with Iona. I'm just saying, it's just a really good unpredictable rune setup. That's why it's used so much, and that's why a lot of people are they like the runes. So what else? I mean, we got that. For PvP I like Despair. Why do I like Despair? Because there's a good chance of people, units with big AoEs, especially units with big AoEs, a chance of stunning a guy. And besides that, Despair wounds do not take into account any kind of resistance. Like if your unit have 100% resistance, he doesn't care, he just does it stun anyways. That's because the Despair runes don't take into account what resistance the enemy has. So this means units with big AoE attacks, like for example Julian has one attack that's AoE, which actually has a stun on its own, but that could be decent. But also, let me think. I think Lucian is a pretty example. He has the surprise box and the amputation magic, which both are AoE stun, AoEs that could stun with Despair. The units that I like best for that is the Warder Period, because she has only has one attack, but it hits like 6 times, and the other 2 attacks, one has a freeze on it and the other one hits twice the main attack, which is just really good for Despair. So that's a good set for PvP, just because you can control the other enemies even if they have high resist. One of the other sets that I think could be useful in some situations is Vampire. I mean, it's not the best set because it's really specific for a few units, but for example, sometimes you see a copper ruined with Vampire runes, and then when he does his last skill, Thunderstrike, he kinda heals up to almost full health. And that's pretty good, because yeah, you get like a lot of health back when you're trying to kill someone. And for Remagos, it's also pretty good, because with clean shot you get a lot of health back, and that's actually useful because you want him to survive, and when he's doing a clean shot he's mostly quite far to dead, because then you do the most damage. So Vampire runes can be good in specific on specific monsters. One of the best sets I think you could use right now is actually the Will set. It gives immunity for 1 turn. What this does is that if you would put a Will set on a unit, you will make sure that he will get his turn, unless he's getting killed right away. But if you're not going first and it's a tanky unit, you can just put a Will set on it and you will make sure that you go with that unit, because he's immune. The first turn he's immune, and that's really strong. I fought a defense with a double Fire Joker, and he had the Will set on both, and they were both level 40, and as you know, it's a defense monster. His health is okay and his defense is pretty high, so killing him, most of the time you won't one-shot him. Well, let's say never, because I never one-shotted a level 40 Joe yet. So what that means with a Will set on, it just means that he's gonna go and he's gonna do his bombs or his fire magic, and that's pretty strong. That's why Chloe is so that's why Chloe and the Fire Archangels are so good, because of the immunity. But if you can get it on your runes, you could just, for example, having your Megan with real runes set is pretty good, because even though they go first, if you survive, you can go with your Megan. And one of the other runes that is kind of sleeping right now, but it's gonna be probably the next biggest thing after Violent, is the Revenge runes. It gives a counter attack by 15%, and that's if you have 2. If you have like the whole set, like 6 6 Revenge runes, you'll get 45% revenge, and that's is just like if you get attacked, you counter attack with a 45% chance. And this is really strong on units that can, for example, on a unit like Julian. Why? Because inflicts damage to a crime and has a chance to stun. So in his revenge he could stun. For Amon it would be good, but sadly his recovery says that this has to be on his turn, which means it doesn't work with revenge. But for some other runes like Darien, that's also a pretty good unit for revenge. Why? Well, if he revenge back, he will do a decrease armor, and that will hurt a lot to some people. So a lot of monsters are gonna be very good with revenge, and revenge. Like, could you imagine having a revenge setup on your units plus violent revenge? Could you imagine that? So aim like my Darien would go, get like 2 turns from violence extra, so that's 3 in total. And then he attacks me, and I just attack him again with a violent proc on, well, not a violent, a revenge proc on Darien. I mean, that could be really good, even though it's only 15%. I mean, it's so unpredictable then your whole team is gonna be really hard to even know. I mean, it could be that I get like 10 turns on one guy before he actually did anything. Well, so having like that, you could get like 10 turns. Well, it's before the other enemy will do much, but of course your revenge needs to proc then, so they will attack you. But I mean, that could be real good potential, and this rune is gonna, I'm gonna say it, and I'm pretty sure this rune is gonna be a major part of Arena at some point. It's just now that we don't have the runes yet, not many people get them, and if they get them, they're terrible. I don't think you can buy these runes on the shop, so they're very hard to get. The only way to get them is to Dragon's Lair or farming these specific stages here. But then you only can get a max 5-star rune, so that's why it's not being used that often yet, but it's gonna get used quite often. And for the rest of the runes, like the worst rune I have ever seen is Shield. Why is Shield so terrible? For PvE it's kinda okay, but for PvP the only uses I've seen is if you have a very squishy team but you do run something that has high health. You could give your units a shield, and then you have a little bit higher health pool, so if you don't get the first turn you might survive with all your units. But overall shield is not really strong. I don't like them as much. At the beginning I thought that would be amazing, but yeah, not so much. Nemesis, I think it could be good, but I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know. I don't know Nemesis. I think it could be good. I mean, basically what's gonna be for Arena is when your guys are ruined with Nemesis, every time they lose health, they will go get faster. Which means if you have a tanky team and they try to grind you down, this is actually a pretty good rune. But I must say you will miss out on some other stuff, and then it might not be as good, because I don't think running one set of attack of Nemesis is not gonna be really good. Like a full set will be pretty good. But I like the Revenge, I like the Will, those are really strong, as well as the Spare and the Violent runes are really good. Those are pretty much the main PvP runes, and Swift obviously, because high speed is good, but Swift and Violent, I mean, if you could rune up a unit with Violent, it's gonna be faster if you would calculate it, but Swift is just to get the first turn. Obviously Fatal and Rage and mostly Fatal and Rage, those runes are good to boost up your stats, and that's great. I mean, they're great runes, but they're not really specific for Arena. I mean, they're just specific for doing damage, so that's why they're not called. One last thing before I end this video. I had a comment today, or yesterday, I'm not even sure, but somebody said to me, oh, Blackway, you have a lot of 6-star runes and plus 15, and I think that's true, because a lot of my units do have that. Not this, well, it's plus 15, so that counts. He doesn't have any. Iona has 2 if I'm correct. Darien has 2. So a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, one guy said, like, how the fuck did you do that? It costs so much money. Yeah, that's true, that costs a lot of money. But what I do with my crystals, and I know it's not the best efficient way, but what I've done, like for the last 2 months almost, pretty sure, is I never really bought a premium pack anymore. Sometimes I did for a summoning video to make it a bit more exciting. But basically I barely bought it. What I did buy was mana stones. And this is not the best way to spend your crystals, but it will help you upgrade your runes a lot faster. So what you could better do is put that 1000 crystals into refreshing your energy and farming it, because then you would get more, but that would take a lot of time. So I just bought sometimes, like I think I bought like 6 or 7 or maybe 10 of those in total. No, not 10, that's I think like 5 times or 4 times, something like that. But I would do it again if I need to, because that's just the way to get your runes up fast. And if you want to do it the hard way, you have to farm up all your mana, but that will take you so much more time to do it. And getting 2 million mana stones right away is just gonna help you upgrade your runes faster. I'm not saying it's the best way to spend your crystals, but it definitely helps you upgrading your runes a lot faster. So that's how I've done that. Just save up your crystal 2000, buy that mana, and then upgrade them. But to be real with you guys, you don't need a premium pack anymore at some point, because I mean, I don't really need any new monsters right now. What I need to do is work on some of the monsters I have, and that's it. And that's what I've been doing the last months. Basically, I've worked, because my Aemon, Madarian and my Belladon has been units with me for ages. Like I got them for quite a long time, but I haven't worked on them that much. And both my ninjas have got them quite, like I got enough units to build a good team. I just need them to be 6-star, and I just need them to get the correct runes, and I don't need more summons for that. So that's that, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm gonna do some PvP because I got 9 invitations right now, and I hope you guys got something useful out of this video. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.